you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
Don't be so modest.
I don't know. I really don't know.
What does it mean to be a woman in film?
It means it's really hard. And if you're a woman of color, then it's really, really hard.
Hey everyone, and hail to the fellowship. We thank you guys for tuning in. I am your nerdy number reviewer, the Elvin Barber, and joining me, as always, is the Lord Loyalist himself, TC, the Token Cripple.
Hi.
And we're those guys. TC, let's talk about Miss Marvel. Or rather, the Marvels? I don't know. I feel like it was Captain Marvel 2, and then... I think, because Brie Larson didn't test well, they just said, fuck it, we're just going to call it the Marvels. I don't know.
There's possibly some truth to that, maybe just a little.
Yeah, it's just a little. New report claims to reveal why Marvel Studios delayed Brie Larson's The Marvels film. So from what I can gather from this article, I'm not going to bore you guys to death. We'll give you the gist of what's going on. We'll put the link in the description box below. But apparently, this movie was set to be released. So I guess the last D23 event, this movie was set to be released July 28th. And now it got pushed back to November 10th. And they're claiming it's getting pushed back due to needing more post-production time to be completed, which is just code for this movie is shit. Yeah, how do you feel about the Marvels?
She's supposed to be the new Iron Man, don't you know? Oh wait, she's not the new Iron Man. It's Ironheart. That's the one. No wait, it's Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man.
You know what I think is hilarious? Echo, Ironheart, and Agatha Harkness, all three of those fucking shows got delayed, sir. All three of those shows nobody wanted.
See, Echo really annoys me, especially because she gives Clint shit for using a hearing aid. I don't remember what she says. Maybe you can clip it for the intro.
She said something about it's debilitating when you're using a hearing aid, essentially. Like you should
because you're weakening yourself with technology. And I'm like, says the bitch with a prosthetic leg.
Oh man, it's that Marvel writing, man.
I'm like, do they even realize that's hypocritical at all? Did it even occur to them?
It didn't. I'm sure it didn't. They just said, you know what, she's a girl boss, so we're gonna have her say this and try to make him feel stupid because he's a white man, he's toxic. That's pretty much how that went. So
does the actress need a prosthetic leg?
Yes.
In real life.
In real, I don't know. I'm assuming she does. Not sure though. Not sure.
I don't know, but I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little confused in the messaging. I'm like, does that, like, at what point do you draw the line? Because by your own logic, your ass should be hopping on one leg.
Should be. Should be.
Especially when it's like, it's objective. Like, in what world is, because he doesn't have Daredevil, he doesn't have the Daredevil excuse of actually having superpowers. So in what world is being deaf objectively better? Especially for somebody who's actively fighting people.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not trying to take a shot at people who are deaf. I'm just saying, in terms of crime fighting, it doesn't seem like a strategic advantage. That's it. Just like I don't think it's a strategic disadvantage to have people who can walk. Just saying.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine John Wick 5 rolling
Oh,
again?
gosh.
Like you have John Wick in a wheelchair, or what's his name from Into the Badlands? It's like he's supposed to be
Oh,
like, the
yeah.
Clipper that trained Sonny, and he's in a wheelchair, and I'm like, oh my god, that would not work. That is some bullshit right there. I don't care if it's kung fu. That does not fly.
Oh, man.
It's like, especially when he literally can only use one arm at a time because he has to steer with the other one.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Essentially, across the board, there's just a ton of delays. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that Disney has posted a loss of $1.5 billion. Of course, that's not the case, right? The fact that they're bleeding subscribers on Disney Plus and losing tons of money. I'm sure that's not the reason at all. Not at all. I mean, Kevin Feige would say, the delays are to ensure that the product that's coming out gets to shine on its own, which is bullshit. But this is what
a good product first.
Exactly. It's like, make a good product and you'll make money. You make shit and you won't. I don't know. Let me ask you this. The topic, I guess, of superhero fatigue, and live action movies is becoming quite prevalent. People are talking about it. Do you feel like it's a thing now? Do you think it's done?
I think as it stands now, I think it's all about the stories.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they haven't been able to tell a good story and to keep their rules consistent. They have Doctor Strange. I'm a huge magic guy. I love magic systems. I think it's really cool. But his magic system is foobar. Like, he can do whatever the plot needs him to, and it doesn't set itself up well for good, sustainable stories because there's no stakes. If he's gonna die, they'll give him, or somebody he's with, most likely his more diverse, betterer companion, they'll give that person fluke powers that can heal whatever injury he's inflicted or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll give him a dark hold and make him scream in pain, get an extra eye, and then be totally freaking fine in the next scene. They don't know how to write. That's what they need. They need. You know who needs to get fired? The freaking writers. Just completely. Just get people who actually know what the hell they're doing. And I'm trying to think of a good, solid, reliable writer that would actually be, but I can't think of anybody by name who would actually be willing to deal with that shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all about the writing. It's all about the writing and making your stakes understandable and consistent. That's all.
No, I agree. I think there is only a level of fatigue only due to the fact, like you said, I think it is the shitty writing, right? Like, I think if we were actually given good content, good writing, great stories, I think that people would be just as enthusiastic to go see a Marvel movie now than they were, back in phases 1 through 3. I think, for, perfect example, I think, Batman, right? Like, Batman's iconic, he's a pop culture figure. I mean, you get a good Batman script and that movie's going to make close to or make $1 billion. Like, I mean, that's just how it is. If it's a good story And there are good stories, great stories that are just not being utilized. Just not being utilized.
That's the other thing. They're actively avoiding already established good stories.
Yeah.
There are plenty of stories that you could almost, especially with a character like Batman, you could almost adapt to the screen note for note. I mean, not perfectly, but it could be done. And it's irritating because they're avoiding those stories to tell the stories for the modern audience. It's like the modern audience is they're getting that shit on the high seas.
Yeah, they're avoiding telling those stories to tell their own stories, to input their own messaging.
Which would be fine if they weren't shit writers.
Do better, Senator. Do better.
I'm telling you, that meme will never die.
Like, the amount of trash that we've gotten is unreal.
Like, and then the thing is, when they do have something good, they try and coast on it. Like a sequel to Joker. Joker doesn't need a sequel. I don't think the Joker should have a sequel, but it was a good movie.
You know why it's getting a sequel? Well, you know why it's getting a sequel, because it made $1 billion. That's why it's getting a sequel. It's like, then that's the catch-22 of it all. That's the catch-22. It's like, you want the movie to do really well, and you really love it, but you know if it does too well, they're going to fuck it up.
Yep.
They're going to make a sequel, and they're going to ruin it because it did too well. So it's like, God damn it. like unless you have some good writing, you can't win. Like, there's no winning.
You know who I have a lot of respect for? I have a lot of respect for Jim Carrey. Because I think he's been in a grand total of 2 sequel movies in his entire career. He was in Ace Ventura Pet Detective sequel. Mm-hmm. And he was in Dumb and Dumber 2. But basically, because of Ace Ventura's sequel, he had a bad taste for sequels for the very reason. It's like, I didn't feel like I was playing this character. I felt like I was just trying to replicate myself. I wasn't I wasn't doing anything new.
Yeah, a lot of it is trying to capture lightning in the bottle, right? Like, trying to do that again. And it's like, it's very rare. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's very rare that an occurrence like that can take place.
And then there are the movies that like don't have a story and yet some of them still get sequels, like Transformers. Like,
yeah. Perfect example. Yeah.
And then there are stories like Fast and the Furious. First movie, really, really good. It made sense. It was a very ground level threat. Not threat, but he was trying to bust the street racing gang. That's it. Now they have Hobbs and Shaw with freaking superpowers. They're trying to save the world from a nuclear device or whatever the hell they're doing now. I don't even know. It's like,
it's like, why can't we just get back to basics? Like, why do we have to add this extra layer of ridiculousness? Like, what is going on? Yeah.
What they really need to ask themselves is
10 movies later.
Did this movie make money? They should, well, I mean, I'm not saying they should back movies that don't make money. I'm saying they should ask, do we have another story to tell?
Yes. Yeah.
Do we have one, or are we just forcing one because we want to cash in?
Because we want to make money. Yeah. And it's not even a good story.
Case in point was Fantastic Beasts, that franchise.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was trying to crib off of Harry Potter. I enjoyed the first one. Second one was crap. I couldn't stand the characters. He's supposed to be a dude writing a textbook, not thwarting World War II.
Yeah, the second one and the third one, I watched them both. They're both garbage.
I mean, you've seen how much of a Harry Potter fan I am. I can go on a rant forever.
I
Haven't seen the
know.
third one yet, and I don't care to.
Yeah, you
It's not some
don't.
political. It's not some political bullshit because of the writer or any of the actors. Well, Ezra Miller's in it, so that doesn't help. But it's just
Uh,
because the story is bad,
yes,
and
yes, it is.
from what I understand, it didn't get any better with the third one.
It didn't. It did not. But I think that also applies to the Marvels as well. I think that it started off, so we, like you said, the sequel. There's going to be a sequel to Captain Marvel, right? And Captain Marvel was sandwiched in between the most two anticipated films
Of all
of
time,
of all time, right? And so, like, you had to essentially, if you wanted to know who this character was that Nick Fury had on the beeper at the end of Infinity War before he got dusted, then it's like, oh, I gotta go see Captain Marvel. So of course that was gonna make a ton of money. Like, of course it was.
and then she doesn't even make that much of a difference in Endgame,
And she doesn't. She doesn't.
even
And
though she
she
could unironically have soloed the entire army.
I know
She
it's
just didn't.
it's her powers are just outrageous, in her capability. But I think that a lot of people just aren't really a fan of Brie Larson. I think it's the actress herself. I don't think she's a pull like they thought that she was going to be. And I wouldn't surprise me if they did a test screening and it just didn't go over well. So they were like, "Oh, we got to bring in Kamala Khan from the TV series and Monica Rambeau and her daughter or whatever. We got to bring these so now it's the Marvels. We got to bring these people in to try to add that extra level of oomph."
And the reality is, all three characters, like unironically, Captain Marvel's powers are the most understandable. She's essentially got Superman's powers, but you
Yeah,
got three of them. That's the same reason why I think Shazam, they're gonna really struggle, because what's Shazam's weakness when he's in Shazam body? What vulnerability does he actually have?
right.
And then you multiply that by 7. It's like you literally don't need a Justice League in this universe anymore. You have you have 7 of them. You have 7 Superman without kryptonite as a thing, like
Yeah,
kryptonite. The only weakness he has is if you can get him so he can't clearly say the name, he's screwed. But that's
he's
only if he's human.
right.
I don't know. And you have 3 of them here. They didn't establish any sort of weakness for her or even a vulnerability for her in the first movie, and now we've got 2 more.
Yeah, yeah, it's. I want to let people know that, like, I'm not hating on this film because of there's 3 women in it. Like, I honestly don't care. Like, that's not why I'm hating on this film. I know people are like, "Oh, you haven't even that the excuse. You haven't even seen it. Trailers not even out." Like, I know the formula. Like, I can read in between the lines. I can do simple math, right? When I see this taking place and these variables taking place, chances are I can make a deduction as to how this film's going to play out. I think this film's going to flop, man. Like, it is not going to do well.
They don't have a draw. Honestly, you know what drew me? Well, you know what drew me to Captain Marvel. It wasn't because it was between those 2 movies. It was because I wanted to know how Nick Fury lost his freaking eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and I had several discussions about this.
We did. We like, finally, we get to see how he loses his eye. Hopefully,
He
it's
lost
like
it to a cat.
badass how he does it, and it's like he loses it to the fucking cat. And it's like,
And then it's like, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. No, last time you fucked around with a cat that didn't want to be played with anymore, you lost an eye.
and then from what I hear, the writer did that on purpose to troll. So
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
that it does, right? Yeah. Yep. It's that Marvel writing.
The thing is, outside of the movie, I know nothing about Captain Marvel, so I don't even know, like, comic book, what vulnerability she has. Does she have any?
She seems indestructible, to be honest. Like, her power, like she looks like she almost overpowered. Well, she did overpower Thanos, didn't she?
Yep.
In that one
he
scene.
He did. Well, actually, yeah, he did have the gauntlet. So yeah, she literally.
She had the potential to solo a Thanos level threat. So
why do they need 3 of them? What are the other 2 gonna do?
Exactly. Exactly. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Tell her how great she is.
And the other thing is, even if you manage to somehow manufacture a threat that could that she couldn't realistically flatten in 2 seconds, it's like, how are you going to maintain that going forward?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Without taking her off the board somehow, like they did in Endgame. They literally, the reason they were like, oh, that thing that happened here happened everywhere, it was to take her off the board because they knew they would break their movie. I mean, it was already damaged.
It was already damaged. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
At least Superman has kryptonite, and I think that's a really lazy plot device, but at least it gives you something.
At least there's limitations there, you know. She's just gonna be awesome. They're all gonna be awesome. So
and you know what? They're gonna do better.
They are gonna, you know what? They are gonna do better. They are gonna, you know why? Because girls do it better. So
I'd rather girls get it done. Personally, that's
they might just call this the Marvel's Girl Bosses coming soon. Like this.
Again, it's like we know nothing about her power set except the power of belief. So we have no idea. Any mechanic they add is just gonna feel forced as shit.
She's got plot power.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how a lot of them are working out now.
Yeah.
They have whatever power at whatever level the plot needs them to have it for no discernible reason.
That's what they have. Yeah. Yep. I don't know.
That's why say it with me, Marvel Studios. Hard magic systems. Hard magic. So you know A plus B equals C. You can't just be like A plus B equals A B C D F G H. like
that's not how it works.
Sorry, I keep going on rants. I apologize, listeners, but this kind of crap annoys me.
No, you're fine. You're good. I was gonna be like, hey, November 10th, we're gonna go see it. So we're excited about it.
Wait, one second. Can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to see it. Oh man, this movie, sir, might need to be a $5 day.
Yeah,
it might need to be a $5 day.
Yeah, I don't think we should see it on opening night.
Nah.
Let's wait till Tuesday.
Tuesday's fine. Tuesday works for me. So, all right. Any last remarks?
I hope it doesn't come across like I don't want it to be good. I want it to be good. It's just, once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, three times is enemy action, and we've had way more than 3 occurrences at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because I'll end up saying that too. Like I don't want it to be bad. Like I don't want any of these movies to suck. Like I like superhero genre shit. Like I'm a fan. Like I love this shit, and it hurts me when I like watch these films and I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, what is going on? Like it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And then you get Kevin Feige saying Ant-Man and when Wasp is like the most important film since fucking Endgame or Infinity War, and it's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Every movie is the most important movie since the last movie.
I'm like, your product was just put out there to prepare us for next product that will prepare us for next product and the next product and the next product. That's all it is now. There's no sustenance in the work. It's just fucking product. That's all it is.
And you know what? If they actually tried to do right by it, I would love it. I will be the first one. I'll come on this channel and I will sing its praises.
Yeah.
I'll stand for it. I will. I'll be that guy.
It's funny because he said he'd stand for it.
I didn't even catch it, but well done, sir.
I'm a dick.
Yeah, if any of these movies are good, I will be the first one to tell you, and I will tell you, buy your tickets. But until the trend changes, I don't see it.
There you go. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. We do ask that you smash that like button. Smash it. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Hit that bell for notifications. Share this video out there. And you guys take care. Do better.
Bye, everyone.